Hey, how you doing? This is John, and welcome to John's Long Box. I'm here with Logan Effling, who has a comic Firewatch issue number 2. Is it live now?
It is live. It went live this morning. Well,
Oh, I didn't
at
know.
noon, so not morning. But
Okay, well here's the link.
you know,
I didn't know when. I thought it was about to come live, and I was just talking with Vaughn Coleman, like who is doing Phenomenova. That launched on Friday, and we were just talking, getting animated. I lost track of time, so I invited him. I hope he shows up. Hope he shows up, and all three of us can talk. I don't know. I like talking comic books with everybody.
yeah,
So what have you been doing? I haven't seen you in a while. How's everything?
yeah, been taking a little bit of a hiatus, trying to figure out what to do next.
Oh,
But it's been going good.
how is I got Firewatch number 1. I'm trying to think. It's been a few months now since I got it. So
That would have been December. Yep.
yeah,
When I said I was fulfilling, I told you best case scenario September, worst case December. Ended up being December.
it's always the worst case. It's always the worst case.
That does seem to go that way.
Oh, but now you got the team together. Now you got all the experience. So what do you think?
Yeah,
Get the
this
bugs
will go a
out?
lot quicker. Yeah, because so issue 2 is technically finished. It's in editing right now.
Hey Vaughn, we're here with Logan Effling. He did Firewatch. And Vaughn, this is Logan. Logan, this is Vaughn. I just felt bad because me and Vaughn were talking so much. I was like, I gotta go.
It's all good.
Yeah, it's all good. I was there in the chat. I was enjoying it.
So I was just saying to Logan that I have my comic. It's going to launch Friday. Of course, I got to mention my stuff too. Got to be Stan Lee, always promoting.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I got to say, like, I made every possible mistake. You know what I mean? But now, like, I'm not even joking. I assembled the Avengers. Issue number 2 is going to go smooth. You know, so did you guys encounter that? Did you make problems? Did you have bumps that you know that you can fix going forward?
For you, go.
Either one. Either one.
Yeah, I would say it's definitely going to go a lot quicker this second time around, just because you've made the mistakes already. You know what you have to do, unless you make the same mistakes twice, which sometimes is going to happen. But it was just a fluke the first time, right?
I will make every mistake once. I don't know. I try not to make every mistake twice.
Yeah. I mean, I'm similar.
Good move.
Yeah, I try not to make every mistake. You know, I think, piggybacking off of what you said. Yeah, I think you want to make sure that you're not doing the same thing over and over. And I think there's only so many times you can learn about all the printing stuff for the first time, right? So all these little things, you will start to learn, and it will become easier and easier and easier and easier.
Zach 10 wants to know, Logan, will you have a catch-up perk?
A catch-up perk?
Yeah, I'm having a mustard perk. Yeah. You'll get mustard on your comment.
Yep.
Bad joke.
Ballpark Frank. Yep. Yes, there's a whole bundle that will have both issues because they do go together. So
yes, I think
here on out there'll be self-contained issues, but these first 2, I didn't really know what I was doing, so it's kind of a single story that's split into 2 issues. But
yeah, I think that is such an important thing to do. Make it easy for people to get your comics.
Yeah,
I talked to a few people that just like, nope, if you missed it, you missed it. And
that's not how I'm operating. I'm doing that with the variant covers. We're treating the variant covers that way.
Yeah, dude. Do you know comic book collectors?
Right.
We want everything. We're collectors. I'm not going to get issue 2 and 3 and not one of a series.
It's also I'm into the story, so I will just straight up not get, like, if I can't get it. That's why I want it to be. You'll always be able to read issue 1. Like, why not? I don't want people going, I missed out. Like, how? Like, it's not my ego where I'm like, yeah, you missed out. Yeah, you could just wait here for a while. They might move on to the next thing and then lose interest in me entirely.
Make it easy. Make it easy. And that brings me to a question. Vaughn and I kind of touched on it. What? I can't even freaking talk anymore. You're on Indiegogo. Vaughn and I are launching on Fund My Comic, but Indiegogo you pay right away, correct?
What do you mean?
Like if I go because I'm gonna go get I'm gonna go get Firewatch number 2 when we're done talking. It's gonna come out of my account. It's gonna get paid for right away, right?
Yes, I do believe Indiegogo is the only one that's like that.
Kickstarter. How many times have you changed your mind? Like 2 months later, he's like, A, I can't afford this. B, that guy's a jerk. C, I don't want this anymore. You know what I mean? Like make it easy to reward impulse buying is the nicest way I can say that.
Yeah. Because it's so. What is Fund My Comic then? How did they do it? Because I haven't backed on there yet.
Hey, Vaughn, you want to take this?
Yeah, Fund My Comic. I mean, here's the thing. This is the only place I've launched a campaign on, but
Okay.
it's different. Apparently, I could have done it in a way where it takes your money right away. I'm pretty sure, but I messed up. So I would say talk to Luke Stone about what mode is the best. I made some mistakes in my campaign that it's fine, but like stuff I'll do. Like I said, I will do better on my next campaign. Things will run smoother now that the best way to learn is to like. I've become a better creator through all of this, a better publisher, a better promoter, better everything, right? So that's one of the things I'll say in terms of that is you want to make sure you've gotten that. But you want to, I think that it's going to be where I did it where like if you fund within the time period, it takes out. And then at the end of the 30 days, it will take out. And then I think I'm going to switch it over. I got to double check with Luke. But I believe that's
but Fund My Comic is created by Luke Stone. He's one of us. He's a comic book creator. He's a comic skate. He's an Iron Age, whatever term of the week is these days. I don't even know anymore. Everybody's fighting so much. Yeah. But he's one of us. And he got tired of all the political shenanigans over at Indiegogo, everybody's shadow banned, or Kickstarter. They've just outright rejected, your boy Zach Richards. So he's like, he was like, somebody should do something about this. And then he was like, it should be me.
Yeah,
like just like us three, we're like, comics are getting kind of crazy right now. Somebody should make good comics. Well, why not us?
Yeah, exactly.
So he made a platform. I think it's only 8 months old. So I understand some people were a little bit nervous about using it, but Mike Barron and Kelsey Shannon just launched a Nexus on it. You know what I mean?
Yes. I'm a huge Nexus fan, so I'm excited for that.
So Rini she's got Fiendish on it. She's doing like, high in the double digits. You know what I mean? So it's a viable platform. And Luke has simple, understandable, logical, consistent rules. You can't have pornography on the cover. Inside, that's your own business. But on the, he wants to be able to show the website to his kids, and he doesn't want to see.
Fair.
You know what I mean? And then you have like a standard that's written out, and you meet that, boom, there you go. And he takes like, if you're exclusive on him, 2%. So yeah, I'm pushing Fund My Comic because he's one of us. But
is that
full disclosure? I will go on the other two. I'm going to do a round robin of all the platforms.
Okay, that's what I was just going to ask you. If that's where you were going to exclusively.
Yeah, but Luke asked for exclusivity for a couple of months. He's going to get it because let me put it this way. I don't know who to contact if there's a problem on Indiegogo. And I'm not shaming you. You do whatever you want.
Luke responds like that. Luke is great.
Luke, I got Luke's phone number. I got the owner of the website's phone number if there's a problem.
Yeah.
Indiegogo, I don't even know. For all I know, it's robots that run that place.
I mean, it likely
the people that I do know that run Kickstarter, I don't particularly like. So there you go. So let's put up your link. Firewatch. Tell us about Firewatch. I've been rambling because I just been down having coffee because I'm so sleepy.
So yeah, Firewatch. It's not superheroes, so it's a little different than Vaughn's stuff and your stuff. But it's classic pulp fiction if I had to put it into a category. So it's no tights and capes. It's revolvers and
I would, what it reminded me of was X-Files.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a fair comparison for sure.
Right? It's a group of people. What I like that you do. It starts out with the rookie joining this organization called Firewatch. So as she's being taught, we're learning this information, and they're going to go after like cryptids and occult and anomalous activities. Is that a good way to describe it?
That's a perfect way to describe it. You're a lot better at this than I am.
I was going to say, I'm describing your comic book better than I can describe my own. But then again, I got
to do yours when yours comes out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did my best to give a nice introductory and really encapsulate what the rest of the series is going to be about in that first issue. Yeah.
It was good. I liked it. And you're the writer, you have an artist, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, who's your artist?
So that first issue, her name is Laura. You're not allowed to know anything else about her because she didn't want to be involved in the online comics community, which honestly I don't blame
I
her.
don't blame anyone for that.
Oh wow. Okay. All right.
So she did not do the second issue because she's still working on her next issue. Like she wants to work at her pace, so it's gonna be a little slower. But
I can respect that. She wants to do her own stuff.
yep,
That's respectable.
yep. So it's a different studio that did this second issue, but the style isn't like jarringly different or anything. Like if you read issue 1 and you go into issue 2, it's gonna flow well.
Okay, good.
That's-
I've been collecting Impulse, but I'd rather buy variant covers as posters or something instead of another copy. But I get the appeal. I got to say, Zach Tan, I'm with you. I don't particularly buy variant covers, but I guess I'm a hypocrite because I'm going to have 4 covers over the course of my entire campaign. I have one exclusively for Fund My Comic. I'm going to have one exclusively for Kickstarter. And I'm going to have one exclusively to Indiegogo. But with my comic, it's supposed to be a love letter to old school classic superhero comics. So I got old school classic comic book artists. So I'm super. Pat Broderick did a cover. I got Michael T. Gilbert,
awesome.
and I got messages from Mike Gustovich right now sending me thumbnails that I can't look at because I'll abandon you guys. You know. And then my wife just handed me a bowl of chili. So life is good, guys. I don't know about you.
It's good.
And there was another. I wanted to address Garfield's Bizarre Adventure. So good. He's been throwing good stuff in the chat. Personally, I'm not a collector. I love to open and read all my comics and manga. I'm a collector, but I'm also a reader.
Yeah,
I have.
Me too.
I don't know if you've been watching my channel, but I just did a What You're Reading on Saturday, and this is what I've read since Saturday. So I'm, if I got time to watch TV, I'm reading comics instead because TV just sucks lately.
Yeah.
And once again, I'm not letting Vaughn or Logan talk because so go ahead, Logan.
Fallout's been pretty good. Been watching that. It's all right. I'm about halfway through it. It's not as bad as some people say it is.
Hey, Vinny.
Hey, Vinny.
There was another comment that when you make okay, I got all the comments. I'm so happy that people actually commenting. I don't want to ignore anybody.
Mm-hmm.
So Logan, it's been so long. You were one of the first people to ever come on my channel.
And you were gracious enough to have me.
Yeah, and we had a fun talk. I remember you telling me that you're a farmer and I forget if it's North Dakota or South Dakota.
South Dakota, yeah.
you're
Middle
a
of
farmer.
nowhere.
Wow.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
blue collar. You can't get more salt of the earth than a farmer.
I guess so.
And what were you saying that it was difficult? I'm trying to remember. I'm sorry if I'm getting the conversations mixed up, but you said it was difficult for you to find comics as a kid.
Yeah, like there wasn't any kind of local shop or anything. Like I had to order anything I wanted through the mail. So
I have one.
I mean, it's still kind of the same way. I mean, I'm an hour and a half from the only city that does have a shop around. So
Well, unfortunately, that's getting more and more. Shops are closing down.
Right.
Yeah. Well, now I got two guys who are vastly younger than me making comics. And do you think, like, are comics dying? I just have it in my head that comics are dying, and we're fighting on the internet over whatever. And I just
where would you get that idea?
I don't know. Call me crazy. Not us three.
Yeah.
And I avoid drama, but this is like a philosophical question.
No, we're fighting over. I mean, you're not wrong. Like, comics are not, they're not in the public consciousness that much. They're in the comics consciousness.
Right.
Yeah.
I've had people.
It's become very niche.
And it's going to continue to become niche. It's going to continue to become more niche. And I've seen people be like, "Yeah, I don't even want to look at comics anymore." It's not fun but we got to make it fun. Is what it is. It's not dying; it's being killed. He says, "Yeah, ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth?"
Yeah, it's becoming undead. Nick Axe is one of the guys that's been helping me with my comics, and he explained it to me very eloquently. He was saying it's the top of funnel syndrome. Like you have a funnel, you turn it upside down, and we're trying to pour water into the top of the funnel. You know what I mean? Like, this is the fan base. It's a tiny barrier to entry, and we're trying to. And I don't know. I have so many ideas, and I would love to get comics out, but first off, I love comics. Second off, it's like one of the truly American mediums, and it's my favorite medium. I would rather read a comic than a movie, than a cartoon, than a novel. And I know I'm taking it personal. Like, can you just imagine if jazz was dying or baseball was dying? You know what I mean? Like, and instead all the baseball players are throwing balls and hitting each other with bats rather than I don't know. I just get
They're being
discouraged.
logical.
Yeah, I just feel like would how many, let's be realistic, people would watch that on TV, baseball players hitting each other with bats.
Probably.
I'd probably watch it myself now that I'm thinking about it. But how long until it's not solving the problem? I don't know. I'm ranting and raving because
because when you do that, it's not baseball anymore.
Yeah. Absolutely, it's not baseball.
I don't know. I told the story a few times. My buddy came over with his daughters, and I have a stack of comics that I give to people, age appropriate.
Mm-hmm.
I gave it to them, and I was so happy to give them comics. And they looked at it, and they looked at me. They said, "What's this?" I said, "It's a comic book." And Dad, what's a comic book?
Yeah, they don't know.
And the father said, "John, I haven't seen a comic book in 20, 30 years." And when they left, the comics were still on the table. They weren't excited enough to even take, And these were kids watching cartoons, Saturday morning cartoons. There's no room for logic on the internet.
Ain't that the truth?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm passionate about comics. I just love it, and I think it's discouraging, and people, even people that I know who are into our area, our sphere, are like, yeah, it's not the same. They're kind of moving on.
No, I mean, it's not fun when when it's just people don't talk. Like, I love my favorite things. I love to just gush about the art form and what drove me. And I love Claremont's run. And when people talk about that, we talk about the stories. We talk about our favorite artists. We were talking about the power sets. We were talking about, Nightcrawler didn't teleport in issue 1. That's the kind of conversations I want people to have about my character, not about the way I write, about the characters I've come up with. And that's what I'm trying to create. And I think we need to get back to focusing on that. Yeah. We're going to start to have similar problems to the mainstream, where we're focusing more on the character or the creator's race, or how many white men are writing these characters, and not what are those white men thinking?
Logan, just before we were talking about representation, how I just think it's just a silly concept, and the sooner that whole philosophy dies, the better.
Yeah.
I'm not going to mention names, but I said to somebody, like, talking trash about other people's comics. There's one thing a valid criticism. There's one thing answering a direct question, and then there's another thing about dwelling on it. And it's the dwelling on it that drives me nuts.
Yeah.
And I was told nobody wants to hear a bunch of old guys talking about old comics. And then I was like, oh, really? Have you watched The Professionals?
Yeah, they're live
These
now.
guys are the best. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, we got Graham Nolan, we got, Aaron Lopresti, they're my peers, top of their field, talking about comics, and they're drawing in hundreds of people watching them. So yes, people want to talk about comics. People want to talk about old, new comics and old comics.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, people get excited for stories. I want to sell stories. I want to sell that.
Japanese are doing American things as good or as better. Yeah, America's losing its way. I hate to say it.
Don't we all hate to say it?
Superman didn't fly in his first issue. Yes, I
didn't fly in his first bunch of issues, right? Didn't he?
Yeah, Superman didn't fly until the cartoon.
Really?
The Fleischer, yeah.
Was Superman flying, and then the comics copied it. There's a lot of things about Superman that debuted outside of the comics and then came into the comics. Like Logan, we were just talking about how the first appearance of Wolverine, they didn't mention healing.
Right.
And Nightcrawler didn't teleport when he was attacked by the guys with the pitchforks.
It mentioned he was Canadian.
Yes, it mentioned he was
very
Canadian.
important.
Very important.
Representation matters.
Yeah, clearly.
So again, tell us about. Again, I'm talking about philosophy and things that get me upset about comic books. And you're trying to. You just launched today, so you launched today. How's it going?
I don't know. I haven't looked, to be honest.
Does your stomach hurt?
A little bit, just a
Vaughn, does
little
your
bit.
stomach hurt?
Mine right now. Well, I'm getting hungry. That in that response,
No,
yeah.
I'm
But
launching
otherwise,
Friday, and
oh
my
man,
stomach
I
is
mean, it's
killing me. I
still
wake up in the middle of the night.
always,
Nobody
because
wants
you're
to-
always like every second. It's what you got to do is find yourself a task that occupies you during the time when you're constantly refreshing, because then you'll get them. Now that doesn't mean you won't have legitimate concerns if there's not more people coming in, but sometimes like for example, I was just hanging out with Billy for hours, and then when I look, I'm like, oh, 2 people back. Oh, that's nice, because that feels better than just if you're just refresh.
Oh, I don't let myself do that.
I've been letting myself do that. I may have refreshed a few times during the stream.
I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. I think I'll be doing that for probably.
Yeah, what you got to do is you got to occupy yourself with the task that's related to the comic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I say this to someone who still does that. I still do that.
He's got six. He's got 6 days on me, and he's my mentor.
Yeah, I know that. Listen. I'm not saying the road I'm going to. I'm trying. I'm on the road. I can't even. I could lead off a cliff for all I know. So I could be giving you terrible advice.
No, I'm just busting chops.
No, but it's true. It's true. It's like I'm like, because you were asking me. I'm like, based on my 6 days journey, here's my wisdom. A comic that's not even finished. It is mostly finished though.
But Logan's got us. He's got a whole issue complete, mailed out, delivered.
It's right here.
Right there. Yep, I got
Nice.
that. I think I got 3 covers.
Nice.
Yeah, I gave you all the variants. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I got all 3 covered. I was saying to Vaughn, like, so far it's been fun writing the story, talking to my friends about the story, watching Renzo. Oh my god, I love.
And it should
Renzo.
be right.
And that's so much fun. Now it's the work part. I got to get the files put together. I got to talk to the printer. I got to get things printed up. I got to decide whether or not I'm going to go. I'm probably going to go with Critical Blast, unless it doesn't sell well. Then I'll deliver it myself. Not deliver, but fulfill it myself. But you know what I mean. Now it's the work part. Yeah, I'll hand deliver it. I'll drive around the country
on a bicycle
with a red cape on. There's a freak at the door with a beard. Oh, my comic's here. But how was that part? How was the fulfillment part? Since you're the one out of the 3 of us that have fulfilled already.
I have quite a bit of experience with e-commerce, so that wasn't too unusual for me. But it went fine, I guess.
you delivered it yourself, or did you have a fulfillment service?
I did it myself.
Yep. You did it yourself.
Yep.
Yeah, I love seeing pictures of like Aaron Lopresti in his garage, boxing up stuff. But the thing, I got a full-time job. If I was to deliver it myself, I'm afraid of making mistakes. I'm afraid of.
Yeah, I'm just handing that off to someone. I'm like, listen, you guys take care of it. I'm like, look, I want my goal is to try and get my comic out as fast as possible, obviously. So that's why part of the reason I started crowdfunding, because I was going to have the book fully done before I started doing it. Part of the reason I decided not to is because, okay, during these however many days I'm promoting it, why I decided to do it a bit earlier and then later, because it got delayed, was because I was like, well, during those days when I'm like off stream, while I'm doing all this, my artists are hard at work on the book. So that way, like by the end of this period, the book will be ready. Was my whole mentality.
Logan, are you on the phone?
I am on a headset.
I was gonna say, so I'm gonna look up your campaign and see if I can bring it up.
Oh, you mean for device? I'm on a laptop. Yeah. I thought you meant my microphone was like not working.
No. Oh, I thought you were on your iPhones. So I'm gonna share. I'm gonna share my screen and I'm gonna show you comic. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Is this working? There we go.
Looks good.
So talk us through this. So what do we got here? This is Firewatch comic book issue number 2.
It's a pretty bare bones campaign this time around. Pretty much got the book, and the merch is fairly limited. So I'm wearing one of the hats here. So I'll take that off so you can get a good look at that.
Oh, cool.
So these are hand sewn, and they come in 2 different colors. And then there's also a printed hat too.
Okay.
And then there's also this hoodie, if you can see it. I'm kind of small here, but
Oh,
you
okay.
can see the
Yeah, I'll make you big. There you
yeah.
go.
Get a good look at that.
In God we trust. And what does it say underneath? All others pay cash.
All others pay cash. Good old Western slogan.
Yeah.
And that's on a Carhartt, so that's pretty premium. It's heavyweight.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
someone asked me in the chat not to take from you. Firewatch, by the way, is a kick-ass looking book.
Thanks, man.
Someone was asking me on Twitter. I didn't know people could ask you there. How many books do you have planned in the series V? Dude, I mean, I have 8 issues written. Depending on how you plan on looking at it, it was 11, and then I smashed the first 3 issues into one because I was like, I wanted to make sure that if you read all of issue 1, that it was a good stopping point where you're like, I feel satisfied with that, and I want more. So that's why I decided to make the first issue a giant size one, and then I'm probably gonna do smallers. But I have 8 written, but I plan on, dude, I have enough ideas. I want to keep going and going and going, like Claremont did, like the masters who came before me. I love that comics can just go. I love to pick up faster and faster. I could probably write into the hundreds with the amount of ideas I have.
same question to you, Logan. Is this a mini series? Is this an ongoing series? What's
As
your
many as I can make.
Yeah, that's mine, dude. Mine's as many as I can make.
Yep,
Yeah, and what's cool about comics is with each numbered issue you get, you join like a more exclusive club.
Yeah.
Because they drop off so often, you know. How many comics make it past issue 1?
Right,
You know?
right. That, yeah. So here's a page, an interior page.
Yeah, there's about 7 interior pages I posted there, I think.
What is this?
If I remember.
What is this thing?
I don't know. What is that thing? You tell
Okay.
me. No, he's alluding to a future issue.
Okay.
You won't see too much of him in this one.
Oh, there's your hat.
Yeah, there's the hats.
Okay. And you said you're making them all yourself?
Yeah, those are all hand sewn. The
that's
2.
Nice.
That is so
Yeah.
cool. And let's look at your tiers over here. So you got a big time bundle. What does it say? Get both issues in the comic along with a sweet hat. Okay.
Yeah, and it's got them listed there. You also get the pin. You get stickers. You get the poster by Brian Bow.
Oh wow, Brian Bow is a great guy. Brian Bow does Wolf and Batsy, and I will be vague as possible. Wolf and Batsy's in Heroic Tales #1, but they're not in Heroic Tales #1. I'm gonna.
Okay.
You got to get the comic to find out what I love Wolf and Batsy.
Oh, me
You got
too.
the standard cover.
Yeah, there's no variants for issue 2.
You got digital issues. Let me ask you, what do you guys feel about digital comics?
You know,
I think they're good.
Yeah,
It's a
the
good
older I get, the more I appreciate digital. Just because, you know, your collection can only be so big.
That's part of it. And it's
that.
also the convenience.
Yeah.
I mean, I've read like a lot of Claremont's run. When I get to you see on my shelf, like when I get to a major point like Inferno, Mutant Massacre, Follow the Meat. All right, hang on, that was out of order. That's gonna drive me crazy. You know, if I get to a certain event, I'll get the physical, but it's like often I'll read digital. Most issues I read digital. It's just much more convenient and cost effective.
I read my second digital comic today because my buddy Mike, I might as well give him a shout out. He's got a comic over on Kickstarter. If you look up the Thunderverse, he's got a comic called Marshall Strong, who is actually a character from Heroic Tales. That was his role-playing character. He made it. It's tied into Heroic Tales, but I had to read it before I could endorse it as being a part of my world. Because what if he blew up the Earth? What if everybody died? You know what I mean? So I had. And it's not out yet, so I had to read it on digital. And I got to say, I'm an old timer. I don't like reading digital comics, but this was an exception. But I have a digital tier because, some guy was telling me from England he doesn't want to pay for shipping, and I totally respect that. It's a to me, comic books should be things in your hand, but I understand that. I'm the old timer.
Listen, I have only physical. I do want to do a digital in my because it was like I was debating doing a PDF. And then I saw what Rini was doing, which was my initial plan that I kind of backed out on because I was like, I'll just do it. And then I saw Rini was doing something special with her website. And I was like, you know what? I'll wait for that. So I am going to do digital eventually, but physical first.
Oh, okay. I just assumed you had a digital tier. That's interesting.
No. Just physical.
So let's see. Firewatch. How long is this running for?
I've set for 60 days.
Okay, 60 days.
Yeah, slow and steady.
Slow and steady. I had so many ideas for my campaign, and I tossed a lot of them out. Not that they were bad ideas, just that I'm inexperienced. And I just told myself keep it simple, stupid. So I just have a comic. I got my pint glasses that I made in an impulse, so I already have them, and then that my stretch goal for cards. But later on, I'd like to make T-shirts and like things like that. But so I think it's important to keep it simple first until I'm not at Ethan Van Sciver levels yet where I can make thermoses and lunch boxes and matchbox.
Yeah, I started looking at all that prices and I was like, dude, I gotta just make the people aren't gonna buy merch of something cool. They don't know.
It's so cool. Like you can see right. I got a Cyberfrog figure wherever it is, right above my head right here.
Right.
It's so cool. I would love to do stuff. Wouldn't that be cool to have action figures of your characters?
Oh, yeah, my whole thing is I want people to be. I feel like I want them asking for it before I do it. Yeah, I've seen that.
I
quote.
love
That's
this quote. Stan Lee once said, "Comics are like breasts. They're nice to look at on the screen, but they feel much better in your hands." I absolutely 100% agree.
I absolutely agree. Well, on that note, I think I'm gonna go grab something to eat. But thank you so much for having me on. I want to give this man the spotlight up above me too.
Okay.
But thank you so much for keeping me on extra. You guys rock.
We were talking about other stuff, but I didn't feel I gave you enough time. But we'll put up your link one more time. Phenomenova. It launched Friday. That's Vaughn with the Galvanite. The art.
Fast turnaround.
Oh my God, the art looks phenomenal, and I know. I just think
next bunch of issues are written. So sooner we move, the sooner we fund, the sooner we get this out, and the sooner we get to the next one. So
and it's 68 pages, guys.
68 pages. You are getting your money's worth. And thank you guys so much, and have a great rest of your night. Have a good one, and Backfire Watch too, and back John when he does his thing. John, I'm having John on my channel next week. Anyway,
next week I'll be on Vaughn's channel.
See you guys.
We're doing the late night talk show circuit.
Absolutely. See ya. Yeah, that's another thing. Plan, dude. All right. One other thing. How much? Start reaching out to people now. It's gonna fill up so fast.
Yeah.
I did not do enough of that on my first campaign, and I don't have enough scheduled for this one either.
I have a shitload. I have this week.
Knuckles.
1, 2.
Oh my God! What a great idea!
I have 1, 2, 3. This is the second one. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 shows planned this week.
I got these from Graham Nolan for Two Fisted Manly Tales.
Oh, nice!
Yeah, what a great idea.
Right.
When I saw that being offered, I was like, "There's no choice. I'm getting the brass knuckles." Well, the patriarch, he does like to have a nice beer at the end of the day, so I did make beer pint glasses.
There you go.
And I do have a metal coin, and these freaking people drive me crazy. They told me 2 to 3 months, and it's been 4 months. Give me my coins. I paid for them.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that'll happen.
Yeah, but luckily I'm ahead. I'm about. The backup is done. It's going to start getting lettered, and Renzo, my artist, just sent me the last pages. Just a burst of creativity. I just got to look at them and approve. He sent it to me while I was live with Vaughn. So,
that's exciting.
We just got to letter it. We just got to letter it, print it, and mail it to you guys. But let's talk about Firewatch.
Yep. Alrighty.
Yeehaw, Kirby. Thank you. Might have to market them as paperweights in some jurisdictions. Yes. That is a funny idea. I was trying to think of that because again, I'm talking about my character here on Logan's time. But
very good.
I made the patriarch my character because I felt like dads weren't getting enough love in comic books. Like the dad's always the bumbling idiot. You turn on the commercial, the dad's like, I don't know how to make soup. So I was like, I don't know about you guys watching this. We got 61 people, but my dad was great. My dad was a superhero. He raised 7 kids. He went to work every day. I used to, not even an exaggeration. There were times when I didn't see my dad for like a month because when I woke up to go to school, he was already at work. And when I went home, he was working overtime. Like I only saw him like on Sundays,
Yeah.
So like, I just don't like the fact that dads seem to be getting a bad rep. So I wanted to make a superhero who is a father. And I did it kind of as a joke at first. And then I fell in love with the character. And now I'm like, I this is the character I want to write for the rest of my life. So going forward with Heroic Tales, it's going to be a flip book. So one side's going to be the patriarch. You're going to open it up. and then when you flip the book over, it's going to have another character. Because
Okay.
I was thinking of just second issue is going to have another character, and people are the comic's not even out yet, and people are just like, yeah, but I like the patriarch, And I was like, oh, it's kind of like bait and switch, right? And you dance with the one that brought you. So every issue will have the patriarch and another story, and that'll be the way to go.
The old 2-in-1s.
Yeah, a flip book. So you're gonna get two covers. You're gonna get two front covers, everybody. So we don't need no variant covers. You're gonna get two covers. Got to go. Well, Garfield, thank you for the interesting questions. Thank you. I've seen breast buckles marketed as keychains. Just add a keyring to it, and you can ship them anywhere. These guys are so good. I got some cool ideas for merchandise, but let me put a comic book in your hands first, and then we'll see what's going on. So let's talk about your campaign again.
Alrighty.
All right.
So we got a single stretch goal, and that is for an additional 6-page story.
Okay, like a separate short story or 6.
Yep, separate short story. You can see the layouts there. They're kind of small, but those will get finished and printed. They will either be added as an extra 6 pages in the issue 2, or they'll be printed as like an ash can. I haven't really decided.
Oh wow.
Just because I kind of want to figure out how to do an ash can, talk to printers and figure that out.
Okay.
So this would be my excuse to do that.
Okay, cool. Yeah, in my comic I had an 8-page backup story that I was going to do as a stretch goal, but I got scared that it wouldn't be done in time, that I would lose the artist that I wanted. So I just do it. So with my comic, you're getting a stretch goal built right in.
Yeah.
So here you go. Some people just can't contribute. Okay. So you launched this morning. I feel so bad. I didn't know that you were launching already. I'm going to play this trailer. Okay.
Because when I told you I was coming on, I told you I'd have it launched and ready to go by the time I was on. So I didn't want to be a liar. So I didn't get it launched till today.
Okay. I'm gonna hit the play for your trailer, right?
Sounds good.
Okay.
Fire watch. Issue 2. We did it once. We're doing it again. Look, it's real. It got printed. Now we got to print the second one. That's what this campaign's for. With the comic, we have sweet premium hats. These are premium source blanks that are hand sewn. 2 different color variations, as well as a third printed variation that is labeled as funny hat. You'll see it down below. It's labeled as funny hat. If you want the funny hat, get the funny hat. Anyway, we also have hoodies. I'll get close so you can see that. These turned out great. These are Carhartt blanks that are embroidered. With the hoodie, you'll also get the comic and a hat. So that's what's on the table for this campaign. There's a few extra add-ons too. The sweet poster by Brian is also included in the bundle. You'll see all that. Everything's listed below. As far as that goes, I'm going to be on some podcasts if you want to keep up with what's going on to promote the book. In June, I will be at Black Hills Comic Con with Mike Barron. If you're local, you can come see us there. Otherwise, just follow my social medias to keep up with what's going on. Thanks for checking it out.
Cool. I got to ask, who did the music?
That is Viagra Boys.
Oh, okay.
You ever heard of them?
No, but I was hoping that you'd say that was your band.
No, not that cool, unfortunately.
Grey Wolf says that looks great. Cool.
Hey, thanks.
Yeah. Cool. All right. So you're getting Carhartts, and then you're embroidering them yourself?
No, I'm not that good. I'm sewing the hats myself. I'm not embroidering the hoodies though.
Oh, okay.
Those someone else is gonna do those.
Because half my closet is Carhartts. I'm a construction worker.
Oh
yeah.
They're getting spendy though. They think they're.
Oh, it drives me nuts. It drives me nuts. I'm coming home from work and people are like, hey, where do you get your clothes? I'm like, I go to like the work apparel place because I work, and now you guys are gonna stop buying Carhartts, and the prices for gonna go from $50.
Well, that's already happened.
It drives me. When I was you get me ranting. You got me ranting there, but I used to wear Chuck Taylors as a kid because they were $19. They were the cheapest. Like I said, my father's a telephone man. There were 7 kids. We used to go. Does anybody remember this? You go to the supermarket, they had a bin full of sneakers, and you just had to look to find 2 that matched. And that's where we bought sneakers. And I would get Chuck Taylors because they were dirt cheap. And then I remember at one point, I'm like, I got to get new Chuck Taylors, and they were like $65. I'm like, what?
Oh, I think they're more than that now. I think they're probably 90. Yeah.
These were the cheap ones. I wasn't wearing them because I was cool. I was wearing them because I was broke. I got a Carhartt hoodie that I absolutely love because it's thick. I'm on the construction site. There's a lot of like jagged metal. It doesn't tear. It doesn't rip. And now I'm going to be paying 3 times quality. Yeah. I got a Klein tool bag, and I was working in a school, and I had opened up my Klein tool bag, and I remember one of the teachers comes up. She goes, "Oh, I love your pocketbook. Where did you get that?" And I was like, "It's not a pocketbook. It's a tool bag." And I'm like, "You guys are going to start carrying Klein tool bags as pocketbooks now?" And I can't help it. I can't help it, Logan. I'm just a cool guy, and I
just setting trends.
Yeah. Grey Wolf, I'm nearly finished inking page 10 on my. Grey Wolf, I didn't know you had a project. Hit me up. Come on here. We'll talk about your project. I love talking about this kind of stuff. See, again, I'm talking a lot, but this to me is exciting. Talking to people who love. You obviously love comics that you're making a comic. I mean, let's face it, we're not making retirement funds over here,
No.
No. Yeah. My foreman today at work was asking me, he goes, will I see you Monday? I go, what are you talking about? Will you see me Monday? He goes, well, your comic book goes on sale Friday, so I guess Monday you'll be retiring. I was like, yeah, I wish. I said, well, you got to get everybody to buy 6 copies. Yeah. We could dream. That monster looks cool, and the way the rabbit moved drew me in. Cool.
Hey, thanks.
Cool. And we got TC laughing at my jokes. Good. I'm making somebody laugh. My wife just rolled her eyes.
Yeah, that monster is the legendary Mishi Peshu.
Oh, is it a local cryptid?
It is, well, local if you're living in Michigan.
Yes. Oh, you don't live in Michigan. Okay.
No.
Yeah. There's Lake Champlain up in New York. There's a monster, like a Loch Ness monster. But part of me is always just like, yeah, they're just trying to get some tourism. Nobody really saw anything. But I love that the cryptids. My nephew lives by the Jersey Devil, so a couple of times, he was like a teenager. I'd go out visit my sister. We'd take him driving, going out looking for the Jersey Devil. I love that stuff. My sister's all at the haunted houses, so she'll look for lore of local haunted houses. We'll go and check them out.
Oh yeah,
I love all that stuff.
Yeah, supernatural stuff like ghosts and stuff is about all we got around here. Ghost stories, but actual creatures, that's a lot more fun.
Well, you live in the Dakotas. You don't got Bigfoots running around out there. I imagine you probably have barbecues with them
We,
this season.
we don't have the trees for them. I'm East River. West River, they might have some Bigfoots.
What, it's plains by you. There's no mountains or.
Yeah, it's South Dakota is divided by the river. West half, all trees and hills. East half, flat as can be.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah. You can see as far as you can see the curve of the earth.
Oh, wow.
It's
Good
crazy.
farmland then.
Yeah, that's pretty much all it's good for. Yeah.
What kind of farm do you have?
I mean, it's not my farm. I just work on it.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like your family property or.
I mean, it's family. It's not me
Okay.
specifically. Yeah. It's corn and beans, cattle. That's what most people have around here.
Okay. Bigfoot is Stacy Adams through the farm. Oh God. Yeah. Thanks for getting my channel struck there, Gray Wolf.
We used to have hogs growing up, but we don't have those anymore.
There are legends in other countries, but considering them cryptids is a bit of a modern thing. Yeah. Well, cryptids is it's like a pseudoscientific way to explain things. Like, most people can be like, there's no such thing as monsters. But you say to people, there's species of animals yet undiscovered, that you can't argue with, because there's got to be some species of animals that we haven't discovered yet, But are there big, gigantic manticore with antlers and bat wings in the forest? We would have found that. But I think like there's going to be a lot of smaller species that we will find that we don't know.
Well, they just
found
say
hello
another
to
deer.
New name. Thank you. I'm sorry, I cut you off.
Oh, you're good. No, I was just saying they just found another deer in probably Africa, I think. I forget what it's called though.
Yeah, in Australia,
a smaller species of deer that they didn't even know existed.
Oh, we got another farm. Hampshire and Duroc hogs in Indiana.
Nice.
The closest I came to, I'm a New Yorker. I would starve to death in a wheat field. I wouldn't know how to chop down the wheat, turn it into bread, cook it. I wouldn't know how to do any of that. But I dated a girl in college whose family were big ranchers in Colorado. That was fun. We used to just walk out and walk the fence. That was like the job that they gave her. So I guess they get the city boy out of here. So we would walk the fence and repair them. That was a hard thing to do. It was hot out. It was like miles walking the fence, fixing everything, repairing. Oh man, farmers do hard work.
Yeah, fencing's not fun, but it has to be done.
So you said comics were hard for you to get by as a kid, and what did you read?
So yeah, Nexus was one of my favorites. That was probably one of the first indie books I ever found. It's the old First Comics issues.
Yeah, I was just talking with Mike Barron the other day. It's funny. It's funny because I'm so used to Mike Barron doing Punisher and Private American and a lot of grounded story that you forget that his first comic was this space opera.
Was that his first?
I don't know if it was his first, but it was the first
early.
Yeah. I think it was the first thing he worked on. His first published. I don't know if it's his first written, but it's his first published.
Okay.
And it's so good and it's so bizarre and it's so different and
Very
it's so
bizarre
shocking.
in the best definition of the word.
Yeah. And I'm so excited to see him and Kelsey Shannon working together. That is just a great team.
Oh yeah.
As I choked to death, I was wolfing down my dinner while I appreciated that your video was 2.5 minutes. I have to chili my wife gave me. Now I'm choking to death.
You're good. No, it's I feel blessed that the comics community is as small as it is, that I get to talk to somebody like Mike, but I also feel like I shouldn't be able to talk to somebody like Mike.
You know what you said? That's exactly the way I feel. Like I was
be untouchable for me.
Right.
He's such a legend.
Every Monday, Matt Barr has the freaking awesome show, and he puts out the link, and he has a bunch of us come out, small, and then Mike Barron shows up, and I'm like, Like I'm like looking around, like, and everybody's just like, hey, you know, like he'll show up and the other guys are still talking. I'm like, Mike Aaron's, shut up, Mike Barron's,
Right.
you know, and Mike is just cool, you know. He sent me a message on my birthday. I'm like, Mike Barron sent me a message on Facebook, not a group message, not like a personal private message. Hey John, happy birthday. I was like, oh
Yeah.
my God. I'm showing my wife, and my wife's like, yeah, what do you want from the grocery store? You know, I'm like, no, Mike Barron sent me you know, she doesn't know.
Right. Yeah. I am nobody. I've just published my first book, and he's like, yeah, I'm gonna be in Black Hills. You should come out. I'm like,
Yeah, he's
okay,
such a cool guy.
I will.
He's such a cool guy. You know, and Chuck Dixon is just like a regular guy too. You know what I mean? Like, oh, like you said, it's a small sphere of people, and for the most part, everybody's so helpful. Unfortunately, like we were talking a little bit about drama earlier, there's a couple of troublemakers that I don't know. I guess it's just human nature. You driving along and whatever, and then you stop to look at that car crash. You tell yourself, I'm not going to rubberneck, but I do it too. You know, but let's face it, if there was a car crash every day on that highway, you're going to get off that highway and you're going to avoid it. That's the way I look at it. You know what I mean? Sooner or later, people are going to avoid this because it's just.
I think they already are. I think all the drama is doing a lot more harm than good.
Absolutely. I told myself when I started doing this, it was going to be about comics. And I don't know if you pay attention to Twitter or not, but that's how I put that on Twitter. It's about comics. It's about comics. Like, it's not about me. You know, I hope you like me. I like you. But ultimately, it's about this art form that I absolutely love. And, you know, not to get maudlin, but I do feel it's dying. And it's like, you know, I'm not going to let it die. I'm going to, you know, kicking and screaming over my dead body. Is comics going to die? You know, you can't see, but I'm looking around thinking the camera could go around. But there's comics everywhere around me. You know, there must be 400 comics right over here. I got long boxes right over here. I got comics over here. You know, I eat, breathe, sleep comics. My wife thinks I'm insane. You know, every day she's like, well, comics show up in the mail. Comics shows up in the mail. Like, yep.
There's another.
Town is a good middle ground for me. Yes, I moved out of the city, and I call this the country. And then I talk to guys like Logan. You know, but I got trees all around. We got wild turkeys on my lawn. A month ago, there was a bad storm, and there was deers on my lawn. They must have got lost. You know, so we got raccoons living under my patio. I love it. I love it. Fortunately, John avoids drama. It's because he's too like, well, yeah, go F yourself, Zach Ken. Yeah. How's that? No, that's an old joke. I said that the last time he said that. So we got Firewatch #2 on Indiegogo. You launched today without any fanfare. I feel bad. I would have should have waited. That would have been fun to launch tonight while we were.
Oh, I should have. Oh well.
And I love this stuff. I love helping people. So I would have done it. We'll think of it for next time.
Yeah, we'll make more of a party of it, more of a show.
And I think it's great that Brian Bow did a cover for you, because I think I introduced you to Brian Bow, right?
Yes, you did. Yep.
Yeah. Again, Brian Bow does Wolf and Batsy. He just did a phenomenal campaign for his comic.
Mm-hmm.
And you and I and Brian, we did a stream. We were talking about Bigfoot.
It ended up being us and Fabrizio. Brian couldn't make it.
Oh, okay.
Yep. He was supposed to be there, but
yes. And I tried to get Josh Howard, because Josh Howard loves Bigfoot, but he had a commitment to that. I thought that I just like when
we'll have to do it again. Yeah.
And if I make it to around issue 6 or 7, there will be a Bigfoot sighting in my comic.
There you go.
I'm trying to have a blend of superheroes and magic and science fiction, you know, because like if you read the new Teen Titans, one guy was the mystic, one guy was the detective, one guy was a flat out superhero, one guy was a space alien. You know, I want to try to, because comic books are the perfect medium. You could do all of that stuff. So, and your comic is you said it's mostly like a cult investigations.
Yeah, that'd be a good summary. Yeah, cult investigations, pulp fiction, just general supernatural. Yeah.
do any of you, because they're agents that work for Firewatch, the organization, do any of them possess paranormal abilities or have superpowers? Or
Not yet.
not yet?
None of them will have superpowers necessarily. But as far as paranormal abilities or altercations, we'll say something will happen in that regard.
Okay, fair enough. You don't want to give it away.
Well, Alec in the first issue became no longer with us. I'll just spoil the first issue. Alec dies.
Okay, yeah. I don't want to spoil your comment. You can spoil it.
I'll spoil it. That's fine.
Yeah. And again,
But,
you can get issue number 1 along with issue number 2 in this campaign, which I think is such an important thing to do, because comic book people we're prickly pears, and
yeah,
I don't understand that. Nope, it's gone. You can't get it. At least with the variant cover or something, but make it available to always get. So are you overprinting and like gonna sell on eBay?
I did overprint, yep, and I've sold a few on some other platforms since the first campaign.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
So you said for your campaign you're going to use. I don't know if you said which one you're going to use, but you're going to...
I'm launching on Fund My Comic, and I'm going to be exclusive on Fund My Comic for a couple of months.
But you said you're going to use a fulfillment service?
I talked with Critical Blast, RJ from Critical Blast. He's been on my channel. That's one of the things. My philosophy is just ask. You don't get anything you don't ask for. So I ask everybody, and I like to think that I'm polite and pleasant about it. So overwhelmingly, people have been helpful. So people talk to RJ from Critical Blast. I reached out to RJ from Critical Blast. He came on my show. We talked about everything. We talked in private. We exchanged phone numbers, and he answered every question. So I told him, if I have 99 sales or less, I'm going to fulfill it myself. But if I get to 100 sales or more, he's going to fulfill it, because I'm new. And I have a full-time job that's very time-consuming, and I will only be able to do it on Saturdays. And I really don't want to because I'm like I don't want to mess up. You know what I mean? Like, so my comic is 90% done, and I didn't even launch yet. We're just doing lettering right now, and I just talked to my letterer today. Bill Williams, what a great guy. He writes and letters Punchline. So the lettering is going to be awesome. I can't wait. So I don't want to mess it up by mailing the wrong thing. This guy ordered 2 of these, and I do this because I know me. I'll be so nervous. And then the post offices aren't open on Saturdays. So what am I going to get to the post office? I got to make my wife do it on her lunch hour. So fulfillment service. And then everybody will get it in a week or 2. You know what I mean? So. Grey Wolf says he wants to get Critical Blast to do my campaign. Yeah, that's his job. He started out doing it for a friend, and it became his business. I just love that idea of these cottage industries grow up out of necessity.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh man, he says he knew Alex was going to be his favorite character.
Ruined.
Oh, you don't have to back now, then, Grey Wolf. So did you ask because you're thinking about it?
No, I guess the thing I was thinking about is you see those fulfillment services, and what advantage do they offer over just print on demand, really?
Don't know. It's a good question.
Yeah.
The print on demand, I was talking with Tonic Mole. I think it was Tonic Mole. Because now that and I know Brian Bow did print on demand before he went with Alterna, but it used to be like inferior looking, like you could tell it looked
right,
but nowadays it looks just as good. So to answer your question is, I don't know.
That was my only concern when I look at the fulfillment services. Like, well, if you're going to do that, why wouldn't you just all in one?
Well, to be honest, I'm going with the fulfillment service just because it's my first campaign, and I want there to be the fewest amount of screw ups as possible.
Yeah, no, that's a good move. Yeah,
and then like, I have big plans. Like, I'd like to do my own website. Of course, this could flop in my face, and it goes nowhere, and this is the end of it. But if we're gonna dream, if we're making comic books about superheroes, dream big. So I would like to do my own, like Shane Davis has his own platform where he does his own comics, and him and Yanzi, they fulfill their own comics. But he works at home. His wife works at home, and they're a 2-person business just doing this all. That I think that is so great. A husband and wife team got each other's back. But to me, that's wonderful. If I'm retiring from work in a couple of years. At that point, if I'm still making comics, I would love to be able to do everything, fulfill it, set up a website, maybe print on demand, or get some T-shirts, and that wake up, write some, fix them, check some art, mail out T-shirts, mail out Carhartts. I would love to be able to, but right now I got to be realistic. I'm waking up at 3:30 in the morning, and I'm not getting home until 5:30. You know what I mean? When am I going to fulfill this stuff? So I got to go with the fulfillment, unless it's 99 copies or less, then I could do it probably in a long weekend. Hey, Devil Flyer Momentum has a campaign going out.
Hey,
I backed Devil Flyer, good guy, another guy who loves comics. If you send Marcus the link, we'll throw it in the chat. Always got to be helping everybody.
Oh yeah.
I don't believe in this idea that there's only X amount of money, and if every comic Firewatch sells, there's less money for my comic. No, this is America.
People will back what they want.
People will get
want
back
the book, they'll get it. Yeah.
And comic book people love comics. I don't think there's 65 people watching right now. I guarantee every one of these people is a fanatic about comics. They can.
Oh yeah.
They could all come on this channel. We could talk for an hour about something different than the next guy, because comic book people are fanatics in a good way. So, like you just said, if I want to back a comic, I'll find the money to back the comic.
Yeah. If it speaks to you, you will.
Yeah. And your campaign is 2 months long. I'll find the money in 2 months. You know what I mean? Even if let's pretend this week is hurting, next week, whatever. I don't know. So I don't know. I don't see this jealousy that some people have.
Yeah, it's silly.
Yeah,
it's silly to look at it that way.
Yeah, it's not a zero-sum loss. This is America. We as bad as things are right now, that's as close to politics as I will get. we still have a couple of bucks for a good fun comic.
Yeah.
So it's 9 o'clock. I got to go to bed. I don't know what time you wake up, but that's the stereotype that farmers wake up at the crack of dawn.
Not this time of the year.
Yeah, well,
sometimes, but
I'm waking up at 3:30 in the morning this week, because we take turns. Everybody gets a little bit of overtime. You get to work first, and we turn on the power. We're building a building, so there's got to be generators to power them. So the first person there turns on, and that person gets to move. So he gave it to me this week, knowing that I'm promoting and up late. So my foreman's kind of sadistic, but I can't turn down the money. So anything you want to say before we close out? I'll put up your link one more time.
Just thank you to everybody who's checking it out. Thanks for hanging out. Let's do it again sometime.
Yeah. Come back. We'll talk more about Bigfoots and cryptids and stuff. That was fun. Yeah. It seemed like you disappeared for a while.
I kind of did. I mean, I was active on Twitter. I need to start being active on my YouTube, actually, because I almost never post there. Yeah,
it's a necessary evil. I understand some people, comic books are a solitary hobby. I say this a lot. And people who make comic books, I don't invite 20 people at my house. Let's make a comic book. I'm sitting home. I'm writing a script by myself. You know what I mean? Renzo's home drawing by himself. I'm just trying to picture we talked about Brian Bauer, Wolf and Batsy. He says he waits till his wife and daughter goes to bed, and he draws until the wee hours. You know what I mean? It's a solitary activity. So I understand a lot of people are shy. They don't want to be on social media. They don't like social media, and then they're fighting and whatever. But you got to do it. My buddy Mike, who has his comic on Kickstarter right now, Marshall Strong on Thunder Zone Comics, he doesn't want to be on Twitter.
Twitter's necessary.
He launched this comic, and I'm like, after we were done talking, I was like, "What do you mean you don't have Twitter? You got to be on Twitter. You got to be on." So he reluctantly made a Twitter profile, but he hasn't posted. Dude, come on.
Yeah. Twitter is very necessary.
Yeah,
I would say that's probably where most of the community is nowadays.
Right, and it's not that bad if you know, sometimes I get involved in a political argument with somebody, and I really shouldn't, and it's my own fault.
I never do.
Yeah, you're smarter than me, and I'm getting better. I'm doing it less and less and less. But because I already lost one Twitter, I lost my original Logbox account over politics. I'm so mad. I thought I switched into this one is the one I made up originally, you know, and I lost my original one. But yeah, think of Twitter as work email. That's a good way to put it. That's a good way to put it. My wife gets so mad whenever I respond. I talk politics. She goes, "You're going to lose that Twitter account? You work so hard." My wife is smarter than me. Back Devil Flyer. Here we go. Here we go. And Twitter isn't that bad when you post comic covers. It's not bad. Again, talking to Logan, talking to Vaughn, you know, talking to all these comic book people, interacting with Mike Barron, you know, Aaron Lopresti retweeted my heroic tales. This is a guy who used to draw the X-Men, you know, retweeting my comic book. You know, how cool is that? You know, so Twitter is what you make of it.
Yeah.
All right. So we got Devil Flyer. He's got a can. Oh, here's the link to this. Yeah. So are you going to stay at Indiegogo? Do you think you'll go do the platform tour?
I'll probably do the tour just to try all the others, just for the experience and see if I like them or what I think of them.
I think that's a smart thing to do. Keep in mind, I haven't done a campaign yet. It goes live Friday. But I don't understand this, but there are people who are fans of Kickstarter. There are people who are fans of Indiegogo. And there are people who are like me. I'm a fan of Fund My Comic. Out of the 3 websites, Fund My Comic is the only platform where I back somebody. And then I said, "Oh, wow, that looks cool." And I back that, you know, sight unseen. Whereas Kickstarter, I get what I want and then I leave. You know, Indiegogo, I get what I want and I leave. But Fund My Comic, because I know Luke and I know a lot of the people now, I'm always like, "Oh, that looks good. Oh, yeah, yeah." So I don't know. But I just don't understand why you would just be loyal to a platform. I mean, if I want a burger, I want a burger. I don't care the chef who cooked it.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people avoid Amazon though. Have you noticed that?
Yeah. Well, you know, I can understand. Amazon is like putting all the little guys out of business.
Yeah. Is that what it is, you think?
That's what I think. That's what I think. I think it's like the heartless corporation. I don't know if it's true or not, but that's, you know, like, yeah, I live in New York, and that's like people try to avoid Walmart. You know, like Walmart's putting all the mom and pop shops out of business.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like,
but like even just to post your stuff there just for like SEO purposes, I feel like it's pretty useful.
Amazon is amazing considering like 20 years ago it didn't exist, and now it's like the most powerful organization in the world. You know?
Yeah.
I'm
not a fan of Jeff Bezos by any means. I've just noticed a lot of the indie community doesn't seem to want to touch Amazon.
Yeah. I forget who was telling me that. He's like, you know, when you're ready to make trade paperbacks, this person could format them and do it and then get them sold on Amazon. And I was just like, I'll cross that bridge when it's time. Let me get issue number 1 in people's hands before I start talking about trade paperbacks. But it's something to think about. Like, I don't know. Billy Tucci says he has fans that back only on Kickstarter and fans that back only on Indiegogo. Yeah. Like, I don't know. Billy Tucci's a phenomenal artist. When Chi comes out, I'm going to get Chi. I don't care which platform it's on. But I'm biased towards Fund My Comic just because I know the guy.
Right.
Right. You know what I mean? If there's a problem, I know his address. I can go to his house. You know what I mean? Like, I can't do that with any other site. I can't get me Jeff Bezos' house. He's probably got guards. I don't make much on Amazon, but my Barker Carpus Gang book has sold every single month since it went live. Wow, cool.
Nice.
Cool. I'm just curious, you know, when you come on my channel, that's something that we'll talk about. So I guess this will be our last question. He just made me think, what's more important? And I kind of already know the answer. What's more important, making a lot of money or getting a lot of readers?
Definitely readers.
Yeah, I have to say I want readers, but I understand I need to make money.
I mean, it definitely can't lose money. At the very least, the project has to break even.
That is if I break even, let me put it this way, because I made mistakes. I shelled out too much money. I went overboard on my first comic. It's too expensive. I can't keep doing it. And I got a couple of people like No, you got to don't do that. You're already over your budget.
Yeah.
So you guys are gonna get a great comic for $10. But I want to make enough to fund the next issue. That's my goal. To fund the next issue. I already got a job. I got a pension. You know, I got a 401k. This isn't, you know, I understand Shane Davis has to make money. That's his job. He's a comic book artist. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want a lot of people to read it. I want people to be like, that was fun. What's going to happen next? I like that character, you know, asking me, did you plant that? Or was that a foreshadowing, or was that just a happy accident? You know?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. The feeling is that Indiegogo backers and Indiegogo backers are often, well, yeah, Indiegogo backers and Indiegogo backers are the same.
Is that a typo?
Yeah, he meant to say Kickstarter.
Okay.
Well, I got to get going. I got to get to bed. And I keep saying you talk about what you want, and then I interrupt you. It's force of habit.
You're good.
Okay, let's see. Oh, Gray Wolf has a Renfield #1. I just want to give everybody a link. We got Firewatch #2. I enjoyed Firewatch #1, and then
Thanks, man.
And then you disappeared. I thought maybe, you know, I got discouraged or whatever. I'm glad that you're back. I'm glad.
No, just taking a breather.
Yeah.
Figuring things out. I plan to be around for a while, hopefully.
World at War Comics. Thank you. People are messaging me all of a sudden, but I'm going to get going. Your comic launch today. It's on Indiegogo. I just put up the link. Oh, I wanted to ask you, can you just we got the link up here, so anybody in this chat could click on it and go right to it. Does anybody could you just type in Firewatch and see for shadow bands? Is there any problems? Do you anticipate?
I don't know, I guess.
Yeah, I was just curious. So guys, message me or put it in the chat, or let Logan or myself know on Twitter if there's any shenanigans going on. But as of right now, you can click on this and go right to Indiegogo. All right. But I'm gonna get going. You can hear my voice is starting to crack. I've been talking for 2 hours already. Bye, everybody. Thanks a lot.
Have a good night.